What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris with game number 2 between Fnatic and paiN Gaming. Fnatic did take game number 1 after a very slow, drawn-out, and boring game, and Fnatic right now, they're going to pick up the Batrider as well as Rubik? Batrider and Lone Druid. That was close. But yeah, paiN Gaming last game had a pretty substantial advantage in the early game, but really I feel like they really failed to press their advantage and actually make something happen and take a set of Raxes so that they could continue to snowball into the final killing of the Ancients. So Fnatic, the Phantom Lancer as well as the Druid, they were able to just farm up all day long, and really paiN Gaming at that point, it was too late for them. They had the advantage, but they let it slip away from them. So hopefully this game, if they do get an advantage, they will hold on a little bit tighter. Fnatic gonna pick up the Batrider after the Nyx Assassin from paiN Gaming. Magnus as well as the Lifestealer making it into the ban pool. Kind of uncharacteristic of games these days. Usually the Nyx Assassin would be right where the Lifestealer is, and usually the Batrider would be right where the Magnus is. paiN Gaming, their next two picks, gonna be the Phantom Lancer as well as the Windrunner. So paiN Gaming have a trio of heroes who we're gonna see quite often, but Windrunner picked up rather early in this entire game. And right now they do have the Phantom Lancer late game carry, as well as an Assassin potential for support, as well as the mid lane. Going against a Batrider, you will be able to mana burn out that Batrider, but then again you will constantly be covered with that sticky napalm, and you gotta really be careful. Spike Carapace helps definitely, but I don't know if paiN Gaming really want to lane their Nyx versus the Batrider. Granted, no matter who you kind of want to lane against the Batrider, it doesn't never really goes well for you, just because Batrider is such a fantastic mid lane hero. Now paiN Gaming could go for something like a Gyro or a Queen of Pain, and that will give them a little bit more of an even edge. But I do think it's going to be a support Nyx, and speaking of support, Fnatic going to open up with the Vengeful Spirit in their first 3 picks. Very peculiar choice. Now they're going to pick this Vengeful Spirit over the likes of Disruptor or Lina or any of these more mainstream heroes. Now the Vengeful Spirit is a fantastic hero. There's no way around that. I think that she is, quite frankly, underused in pro games, but these they're banning out pretty quickly. But Vengeful Spirit does have some pretty good pushing synergy. If Fnatic want to pick up something like a Shrek or a Nature's Prophet, then they could push pretty aggressively, because Vengeful Spirit, unlike most other support heroes, scales very well into the late game, because that swap, just having the ability to switch positions or move anyone around in the late game is an incredible tool, because late game is when positioning matters the most. If you're caught a little bit out of position, you're going to get hexed, you're going to get stunned, you're going to die, and if you don't have buyback, you're probably going to lose the game, especially if you're Phantom Lancer. And that swap, incredibly powerful tool, and the fact that you have percentage scaling on the Vengeance Aura combined with armor reduction on the Wave of Terror means that there's a lot of damage swinging going to be brought to the table by that Vengeful Spirit pick. Now that only really applies if Vengeful Spirit gets to the late game. Early on, Vengeful Spirit is pretty much just a play stun, which is going to be pretty good for Fnatic. Shut down the Windrunner, and really all 3 of paiN Gaming's heroes have pretty decent escape mechanisms. It's going to be hard to land a Magic Missile on the Nyx though without it getting blocked by the Spike Carapace. But we can see lots of carry heroes being banned out. Tiny Gyrocopter as well as a Juggernaut ban from paiN, kind of expecting that pushing that come very early on from Fnatic, going to disallow that from happening, and Fnatic going to ban out a couple of jungle heroes, Darkseer as well as Nature's Prophet, finalizing their ban with that Shadow Demon, much more popular support hero. Hell, even Gyrocopter is a lot more of a popular support hero than Vengeful Spirit. Now, Vengeful Spirit and Batrider don't have they have a lot of initiation to bring to the table individually. Not a lot of synergy between the 2 heroes. You can't like swap Batrider out, because then that'll just snap the lasso, which is unfortunate. That would be a ridiculous combo. I bet we'd be seeing a lot more if that actually did work. So Vengeful Spirit, it's kind of a peculiar pick. I do like the hero, but really with their last 2, they have to solidify themselves into something that they actually need the Vengeful Spirit for, because she's probably not going to get that many levels, probably not going to get that much gold. And then against an Assassin, against a Phantom Lancer, having a very weak support hero like that is a little bit dangerous. In paiN Gaming, they do have the Windrunner pickup, so they will be able to have a possible hard lane hero. Although Windrunner is also pretty decent against the Batrider. You could just pop the Windrunner and just sprint on out of there. Her decent range, or her actually, is it 600 range on Windrunner? I want to say it's 600. Will help her a lot versus that Batrider. So paiN Gaming do have the option of laning the Windrunner mid as well. However, paiN Gaming, they're going to go up against the Lone Druid. The Lone Druid's going to be getting a lot of support from the Vengeful Spirit, Just having that guaranteed stun, allowing for that bear to wail on your target for just a little bit more armor reduction plus damage, and the bear is looking awfully terrifying. However, Fnatic do tend to run Trixie on the Lone Druid, which means a hard lane bear. I would think that Fnatic would want to pick up a couple more carry heroes. Very smart ban from paiN, actually, banning out that Tiny. Vengeful Spirit Tiny is a very solid combo. Magic Missile into an Avalanche Toss, it's pretty much a dead target, 9 times out of 10. paiN going to pick up the little bit more mainstream hero with that Rubik. Okay, Fnatic going to go for the Chen. So I think for their last pick, they're going to go for a Leshrac. They would put their lanes in a little bit of a weird situation. It'll be Batrider mid, I don't know, Lone Druid hard, and then Vengeful Spirit Chen Leshrac. That would be a pretty intense pushing lineup. In paiN Gaming, if you look at them, they have the Fade Bolt, they have the Power Shot, but aside from that, they don't really have any huge clearing abilities. They could pick up someone who does have a huge clearing ability, like perhaps the Lina or something like that, which would make their lanes a little bit more unorthodox, but it still would definitely work. And they only have 5 seconds to make a decision, so let's see what they're going to do. Are they going to get anti-creep clearing? It's going to be the Warlock. And an instant response of the Dragon Knight. Okay, Fnatic, they're going to go full on pushing with this. So Vengeful Spirit DK, also a very solid combo. You don't exactly have to have the setup stun for the DK to land his Dragon Tail, since if you miss Dragon Tail, then you better check your mouse. But just letting the Dragon Knight walk in closer for that Dragon Tail stun, it's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. And Dragon Knight definitely benefits a lot from both the Wave of Terror minus armor, as well as the Vengeance Aura plus damage. And I want to talk about this Warlock pick for just a little bit from paiN Gaming. The Warlock is most often played as a solo mid hero, although he could occasionally be played as support. I think it was VP, I think, ran Warlock as a support hero. I don't remember if it worked or not. The Warlock doesn't actually have a whole lot of counter push, especially when he's going to go against a Chen who has really, really high bulk on his pushing. Remaining. Lone Druid is the same way, as well as the DK. The Warlock does offer, as far as counter push, is that upheaval, which will mean that Fnatic will have to dedicate themselves 100% to that push, because if they push in and they're slowed to... am I crashing? Okay, I think I'm going to cut it right here and figure out what's going wrong, because certainly... Alright, I am back. Hopefully everything is fine. Not sure what happened, but hopefully it won't happen again. I think I was making a point about the Warlock, about him being a kind of a wonky anti-push hero. He does have that upheaval, which I was trying to say, forces Fnatic to commit to pushes, because if they get close enough, let's say the upheaval's in this area, if they get close enough and start wheeling on this tower, they will be unable to retreat. It's just not going to happen. They could dive even further and try to stun the Warlock if he is back here. However, if they do that, that means it is enabling Warlock's allies to really get in good and do some damage, try to stop the push through just a simple fight. The other tool he does have is the Fatal Bonds. If he can get that on the Centaur creeps or whatever, or the Chen or any of the heroes, really, it will put a lot of damage on them. So he's not the most effective anti-push hero. However, he does bring some things to the table, and especially once he gets that chaotic offering, he'll be able to be a lot more helpful. But let's go over who is playing what first. We're going to be seeing Don't Be Afraid play that solo off-lane Windrunner. Good luck to you. Mino is going to be playing that Nyx Assassin mid. Green Text playing the Rubik. Pada is going to be handling the Warlock, supporting Sido on the PL. On the Fnatic side, Trixie once again on the Bear. No Tail is going to be handling the Chen. Hani mid lane on the Batrider. We also have the stand-in Syndrin on the new and improved Vengeful Spirit, and that of course leaves Ira, who is missing the pretty kick-ass helm, which kind of goes well with the shoulders, unfortunately. But Trixie already takes some pretty heavy damage. Wow, telekinesis from Green Text and Illusion Rune on top of that. Trixie's going to start off very low on HP. Looks like he is going to be handling the mid lane, so it's going to be Trixie versus Mino on this mid lane. Now this is it's actually pretty good for Fnatic, despite the fact that Trixie is about to get... No, he's not going to get ganked. Never mind. Despite the fact that Trixie normally does go on that hard lane, Hani is now jungling, it will work out for Fnatic, because if you look at Lone Druid's intelligence, it's not that impressive. So that means the mana burn from Nyx isn't really going to be hurting him that much, and that's really what gives Nyx a whole lot of a whole lot of lane control. Is the fact that against someone like a Batrider, let's say against someone like against a TA or something like that, or against a Queen of paiN, for example, those types of heroes will get hit pretty hard by the mana burn, and once you burn out the mana from those heroes, they can't really do that much. But Lone Druid, this is the only spell that he's really interested in casting, and he doesn't have to cast it often at all. He already casted it. He's going to sit at 221 mana, and he's going to be okay with that being dropping down to 0. So Mino, his mana burn's not going to... What the hell was that Impale? He's not going to be able to harass Trixie all that much. He'll be able to throw out some Impales, yes. Impale is just a simple harassment tool. Isn't that fantastic? So Trixie should be able to hold down this lane. At least he'll have a lot better time than Hani, who currently is trying to clear out a couple of easy camps. He has stacked the hard camp once. Expect to see him stack it a couple more times. We can see Don't Be Afraid getting forced back very, very far away by Syndran, burning a magic missile, but at the same time bringing Don't Be Afraid all the way down to about 100 HP. Syndran giving Ira a whole lot of space to farm on this bottom lane. So Ira is going to be pretty much a free farming DK. Don't Be Afraid can't really afford to get too close. Syndran could throw out a very, very easy magic missile. You can see how close he got, and then Don't Be Afraid suddenly got really afraid and then had to bail out of there. So Hani is going to be a dedicated jungler for Fnatic as well as No Tail. So even though they have completely abandoned the top lane, they're going to be getting a lot of gold. Both Batrider as well as Chen, very, very capable junglers, especially when No Tail is helping out with pulls on top of the fact that he is, of course, Chen. The top lane for paiN Gaming, Pata, as well as Green Text have done a couple of pulls. Warlock only level 1, and I don't know exactly what they're doing. Smoking up, yes, they're going to smoke up, possibly look for Trixie, very soft hero in the mid lane. So even though you can't really harass him down with mana burn, you could just go and kill him. Saito is at the same time as Ira, just completely free farming. So it's going to be one free farming hero apiece. DK is a pretty good counter versus the Phantom Lancer once you get the level 2 dragon, or even the level 2 or level 3 dragon. You could burn down his illusions pretty decently. Now we have a big wraparound gank from Fnatic. Who's going to stun first? It's going to be Syndran, throwing out the magic missile. Ira does have a point in Dragon Tail, and Don't Be Afraid is going to die to the Dragon's Breath from Ira. Ira's immediately going to lose the aggro from the creep wave, and this is going to transition into a really easy push for Fnatic. You see the Vengeance Aura picked up at level 1. That's going to give a lot of damage to this creep wave. And Don't Be Afraid, what could he really do about this? Aside from power shotting to draw off the creep aggro, which he does in fact do, that's going to slow down this push a little bit more, but they're just going to farm up this wave. No big deal from Fnatic. Even waiting for before the Dragon Knight hits that level 6 mark. Unfortunately for Fnatic, they don't have any mana. They have a magic missile, but I don't think that's enough to kill off this Windrunner solo. They do have another creep wave incoming, so they will be able to continue pushing down this lane with the completed Ring of Basilius. Yes, Ring of Basilius is up on DK, so this tower is going to drop. No such push is coming from paiN. With the likes of the Rubik as well as the Warlock, Phantom Lancer can get a couple of juxtapose illusions, I suppose. But right now he's actually going for stats. He's gunning a lot of stats. 2 points of stats. No juxtapose, no doppelwalk. Don't need that. So the push isn't going to be coming from paiN Gaming, and if it does come, it's not going to be that intense, because really they don't have anything to put extra hurt on the tower, like the Aura, like the Chen's creeps, or anything like that. So Fnatic taking first blood as well as the tower, putting themselves at a pretty good early game advantage. And wow, Vengeful Spirit going to get another point in Vengeance Aura. This is something that Vengeful Spirits used to do on occasion. Instead of maxing out the magic missile, which gives you, not that much stun duration, really the 0.3 is not very noticeable at all, and the damage does scale very well, getting triple the damage after you invest all your levels into it. It's pretty good, but often you'd see just 1 point of magic missile being procured just for the stun, and then go for Vengeance Aura as well as Wave of Terror. Wave of Terror is a nice spammable spell, very, very cheap, and has some pretty substantial effects. So looks like I was a little bit wrong about this push on the top lane. It is a little bit slower than the Fnatic push, but they did manage to take it down regardless. No rotation up there from Hani or Trixie or really anyone from Fnatic. So they're going to let that tower fall for free. And Saito's getting an awful lot of farm right now. He doesn't have as much farm as Ira, who did pick up first blood as well as the tower. It's very hard to contest that, but he's not doing too bad for himself. Trixie is in the 3rd place spot, really handling the mid lane very well versus Mino with that bear. Trixie is level 5, so the bear does have Entangle right now, so Mino's got to be a little bit careful. There you go. Look how much look how much damage that Entangle did, forcing out the Earth Spike. Earth Spike? No, that's Blind, right? It's Impale. It's Impale on Nyx Assassin, Earth Spike on Lion. No way I'm gonna remember that, because in Dota 1, it's Impale on both of them. Or at least I'm pretty sure it was Impale on both of them. But now Nyx is level 6. That means he has his Vendetta combo up. A level 1 Vendetta plus level 3 Impale. Probably won't be enough to kill off the lone druid by himself, but if he gets any rotation from Green Text or Pata, they can make something happen. Now Hani has moved up to the top lane, 1200 gold on him. He's going to reveal the smoke. Green Text has got to go right now for that telekinesis. Not going to find it, even though he's slowing down Hani. This is a very dangerous dive. Green Text taking a lot of damage. Lots of damage going on to Hani as well. He probably will drop to the damage over time. He definitely will. and Pata, as well as Green Tex, getting out of there with just slivers of HP. Courier even diving the tower a little bit. Very risky gank from Fnatic. If any teleportations came in from them, it would have been the death of one, perhaps two heroes. But going far behind the tier 2 tower, oh, Syndra in a little bit of trouble. Vendetta gank initiated, power shot to fly through, skewering Syndra straight through the middle, and that's going to be the death of the Vengeful Spirit, who has gone for that wave of terror points. So it looks like Magic Missile might be kept at level 1 for now. But Mino with the Haste Rune, very, very dangerous hero, probably the most dangerous hero on the map right now. That Vendetta could easily snipe off the Vengeful Spirit, who, you know, you could try to quickly Magic Missile them once he pops you, but that Impale is going to come out a lot quicker than you could possibly hope to get an Magic Missile out. Jixie is going to be very resilient to it, as is Ira, so I guess Fnatic doing some pretty good job drafting those very, very tanky heroes. Once the Diffusal Blade comes up from the Phantom Lancer, however, it's still not going to affect Trixie that much. paiN Gaming don't really have any huge tools to deal with the Lone Druid aside from the Fatal Bonds. But the Mana Burn is definitely going to hurt the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight will probably not go for anything like a Soul Ring or something like that. And he's going to go for a couple points in stats as well. Going the 1-1-1-1 build. Very, very interesting build from Ira. I don't think I've ever seen this, actually. Usually it's, do I want to get Breathe Fire and be aggressive? Then, if so, then I'll get 1 point in Dragon Tail. Do I want to be tanky? Then I'll get maxed out Dragon Blood. Rarely, I think, do you ever see Dragon Tail being maxed out first a whole lot, although, to be fair, I don't really watch a whole lot of games with Dragon Knight in it. The scaling isn't that good. It's either prioritizing Dragon Blood or and skipping Breathe Fire, or prioritizing Breathe Fire and getting more limited points in the other skills. But going for neither, very peculiar choice. It'll give him a little bit more mana, not going to be very useful because his spells won't really mean anything. You know, going to get body blocked a little bit by No Tail. He's going to take an Impale. Mana Burn as well. Does he have Vendetta? He does not have enough mana. Mino's going to take a lot of damage, especially with rotation coming in. Unfortunately, the rotation from Fnatic a little bit too far away. However, I think they will be comfortable enough with just going straight towards the mid lane where Pata is in a little bit of trouble. Lasso is up on Hani. He's going to use it on this Warlock as well. Going to bring him back into Trixie as well as No Tail, and he should burn to the fire. There's the Magic Missile to kill him off. One level 1 Breathe Fire trying to help out as well. Not doing too much, but hey, they got the kill regardless. Now with the Chen, have a pretty good creep wave. Demolish is up on the Baron. Ira popping off that dragon form. This tower is going to drop slowly but surely. Someone is stalking them. Mino with the Vendetta looking for No Tail. He could pop him right now if he wanted to. But of course that would mean his death. Batrider does pick up the tower, and looks like they're going to keep going. Don't stop, man. You have the dragon, you have the Elder Dragon form, you have 2 points in that Vengeance Aura. You have a Bear with Entangle, you have Chen Creep. What more could you want to take down this tower? Now that Mino doesn't have his Vendetta anymore, that means that Fnatic are going to be okay even though they don't have any invisibility detection. Just putting that Dragon Acid on the tower for just a little bit, and looks like they're going to fall back actually. No Tail is level 6, however, he does not have the mana for Hand of God. If he had 150 more gold, if he got that last tower hit, then you could bet that Fnatic would continue barreling down that mid lane. So that would mean Arcane Boots, that would mean that Hani would be at max mana, that would mean that Ira could cast his useless spells, but mostly it'll mean that there would be a Hand of God, which means the creeps would all be at full health, which means that they could afford to really just throw them at the tower and then hope it works. But it's not going to be like that just yet, but you can see Fnatic with one nice, well-timed push, taking down a very easy tier 1 tower, as well as bringing the tier 2 tower to about half of its HP. In another 40 seconds, they can do that again. Ira is kind of going for a peculiar build, as I said before. He will open up the BKB to follow. Oh, Greevil. Greevil, you are dead. What are you doing there? Why are you there? Why? I don't understand. I have no idea why. Mino finding a free pickup for his entire team. Be very, very beneficial for all of the team, especially the supports, getting a little bit of free extra gold, which ordinarily you wouldn't expect a courier kill this early, especially without a Nature's Prophet or something like that to snipe off those heroes. And now Mino going to be stalking No Tail just a little bit. Still not enough mana for that Hand of God, but he does have enough mana for his Arcane Boots. He's going to head up there right away. But in the midst of all this pushing and all these kind of small skirmishes, we forgot that paiN have been fighting 4v5 this entire time. Saito still in this top lane. Now we're going to go into a couple of his other skills. Almost has his Diffusal Blade up. This is going to be a very, very potent item because the Dragon Knight is going to have a lot of mana burned out from him. But then again, Dragon Knight's going for a very mana-less build. Going straight for the BKB means that he will protect his mana pool, and going for skills that, well, going for skills that really don't do much means that his mana isn't that important. The VS as well as the Chen really will be reliant on that mana, and PL has received full free farm. He's catching up to the DK, who has brought down the couple of towers as well as had a couple of kills. So just this farm for the Phantom Lancer is extremely substantial, and everyone from Fnatic grouping up in this mid lane. Looks like they want to make a push on the tier 2, but do they actually want to, or are they just sitting here? Hani has moved back. He does have his Blink Dagger, though. They want to take a fight and then transition that into a tier 2 tower. That should be very possible to do, especially since Saito doesn't have a TP scroll to rejoin any fight that breaks out. With a level 1 Dragon form up and 4 points in stats from Dragonite. That's a very, very interesting build. I've never seen it before. Let's see if it works out for him. I'm going to count the amount of times that Ira could have killed off a hero if his Breathe Fire did 3 times the damage. But, or if he gets picked off because he doesn't have any of that armor from Dragon's Blood. They're going to go for the push, and they should be able to take this down. Sentry Ward's being laid down. They do see Mino regardless. Ira just going to put that acid on that tower. Fade Bolt's going to bounce through, hit absolutely everything. Impale. Oh, Hani looking for initiation. Going to get lifted up into the air, though, as well as taking that stun from the Mino. There's the upheaval from Pato. Level 2 on that. Ira going to get burned down extremely quickly. There's the Vendetta from the Nyx Assassin. Who's he going to go for? He gets stunned by the Dragon Tail. Ira going to try to get sent back to the base. He will die. If he had Dragon Blood, he probably would have lived. Bear, very low on HP, and No Tail is going to shackle to a tree. He's probably going to drop as well. Saito moving down from the jungle into this fight. And 2 down from Fnatic. They have to fall back. paiN Gaming, they won't be able to pick off many of the creeps. Maybe they will. But faulty initiation from Hani, blinking forward and really just feeding himself into that grinder. Actually, they're going to take out 2 of the creeps. Not bad at all. Third one is fatally bonded. And the Dragonite taking a lot of damage. That upheaval really, really working well for paiN. That's exactly what I was talking about. As an anti-push hero, it's kind of a wonky way to think of it, but they forced Fnatic to either fall back right now, or if you stay around, you will be unable to move, and then you will be forced into a fight. And that is exactly what paiN did. They forced Fnatic into a fight. They were able to kill the Dragonite, who was bouncing back and forth, really unable to commit to any real fight. There's the Warlock Golem being dropped off Ira, as well as Syndra and Don't. Trixie's the one in trouble. Upheaval slowing him down to a crawl. Upheaval still slowing down Ira. The Warlock Golem doing some pretty heavy damage. There's a double damage from Mino as well. He will kill off the Dragonite, at least give Saito a double kill. The Warlock Golem seems to be missing his head, but it looks like he doesn't really care because he's going to bash down this tower. paiN Gaming responding very, very strong, killing off the Dragonite twice in about a minute, and also taking down tier 1. They have the Warlock Golem, who's incredibly tanky, does a lot of damage. They'll be able to take down a tier 2 as well, unless Fnatic somehow manage to mount a defense. Satyr Blast to kind of draw the creep wave aggro, but No Tail getting hit very, very hard from 1 lance from Saito. 2 points in that Shadow Word, 2 points in Upheaval, and it's working to just zone Fnatic out. Hani wants blood, however. Magic Missile's going to fly, not sure on who. They're trying to kill the Warlock Golem, but he will regenerate very, very quickly. Hani looking for a Blink Lasso. It's going to be Green Text, if anyone, but an instant telekinesis from Green Text, stunning Ira on the way down. Very, very well done. Quick fingers on that Rubik. Of course, he could have seen that coming. Very easy to see it coming. Fade Bolt, as well as a Phantom Lance. He will kill off the Batrider. And Saito picking off heroes left and right. He's been doing absolutely nothing on this top lane aside from farming. But the minute he shows up, he gets 3 kills and 3 assists and adds another 1,900 gold to his bank account. This Phantom Lancer is going to be absolutely terrifying in the next couple of minutes. And, well, this is the advantage that paiN Gaming had last time when they had an early mid-game advantage. Even though this time they're going to get a little bit more pressured by Fnatic in the early stage, having this more pushing-oriented lineup. Just the fact that paiN Gaming do have an advantage now, and I really hope for their sake that they hold on to it and they keep making fights happen, keep using the Warlock to push out these towers, or at least just give Saito a lot of free time to farm, because if he gets incredibly stacked, I mean, he's already on his way to becoming incredibly stacked, then who's going to stop it? DK with a BKB? That's not going to stop it. He's nowhere near his level 16. Lone Druid does have a Hand of Midas, but he doesn't have anything on top of that, so he can't really do anything to stop that either. He needs to go for a Lightning Hammer or something in order to deal with Saito's illusions. Because really, Fnatic, they have absolutely nothing to deal with an illusion army of Phantom Lancer. DK has no Breathe Fire, which will be a good tool. He is nowhere near that dragon form. Lone Druid has nothing. Vengeful Spirit has nothing. Batrider has Firefly, which I guess is something, but it's really not enough. And then Chen has whatever creeps he has, but that's really extremely limited counter as well. So Saito is going to be a very devastating force in this in the upcoming minutes of this game. And what Fnatic need to do if they want to avoid this problem is simply push. Use the power of the bear, use the early power of the Chen creeps, use the power of the early game level 6 dragon form from the Dragonite, and start picking off these tier 2 towers. Even though it was a bloodbath in the mid lane, they could make these picks happen. If they get, oh, well, unless this happens, Mino can open up on Trixie, and with everyone else from paiN here, Trixie is definitely going to die to a power shot. 4 heroes in the bot lane. It's going to be a tower for paiN unless Fnatic can mount some sort of defense. But really what they needed to do is push. They have 3 Chen creeps, Dragon Knight with his ultimate form, Syndrome. With 3 points in that aura, they could easily snipe off a couple of tier 2 towers. It's going to be a little bit risky walking into that with Nyx Assassin as well as the Chaotic Offering on the other end, but it's really what they got to do. Smoke up from No Tail, smoke up from all his creeps as well. They're looking for blood. They're going to find Saito, but really, what can a Chen do? He could try to be scary, but look at this guy. You can't be scared of this. Unless it was a really dark alley, then I'd be scared of what he's riding on. I don't even know what it is, but I'd be terrified. They're going to take down the top tier 1, but it's going to be a tier 1 for a tier 1 in paiN Gaming. They're going to keep on going. They can't necessarily outpush Fnatic. However, what they can do is just constantly look for picks. Mino should have his Vendetta up. He will have it up very soon. Ira is going to find his invisibility rune, however, so that's going to be a useful tool for him. There's the blink forward. Saito instantly into the doppelwalk, looking for a lasso, not going to find it. Teleportation coming in is going to be green text. The rockets drop, as well as the upheaval. Syndrome looking for a stun to cancel off that upheaval, but a 2-man shackle. Don't be afraid, going to stun them both. And Warlock's going to kill the Bat Rider. Phantom Lance is going to kill Syndrome. And that dive, unfortunately, very, very, once again, no initiation coming from the Bat Rider. Blinking forward with the threat of the lasso is all well and good, but if you ultimately don't get that lasso off, then you're just throwing yourselves into the enemy team to die. And that's exactly what happened. paiN Gaming leading this game 11-2. The gold advantage, experience advantage should be in favor of them. Gold, not so much because of the towers of Fnatic, but the experience is pretty much in the way of paiN Gaming. And Warlock is going for 1 point of Fatal Bonds, really prioritizing that upheaval. He wants to force Fnatic to make these decisions. Do we want to fight, or do we want to back off? And if they fight, then they're most likely going to lose. If they back off, well, they're going to be slowed to a crawl. So good luck backing off. Roshan is going to be attempted here. They did steal the Wave of Terror, only level 1, but I guess any little bit counts. Very slow goings on this, but with Mino just stalking around the premises, they're going to feel comfortable enough to just 4-man this Roshan. And no one from Fnatic seems to know or even want to stop this. You can see the ward coverage from paiN Gaming is absolutely impeccable. They will know if anyone comes within a mile of Roshan. Roshan will in fact die, giving up the Aegis to the Phantom Lancer. What else does he have? He has Diffusal and a Reaver. Oh god, this Phantom Lancer is getting so big. 404 on him. Error. Phantom Lancer not found. And Mino has burned out his Vendetta, but he'll have that in another 20 seconds. No big deal on him. He's even closing in on that level 11 mark, so that Vendetta cooldown will decrease to a minute. And a push from mid lane. That's going to be the order of business for paiN. It's a little bit risky. I still feel like Fnatic can mount a defense. BKB on DK needs that level 2 Dragon form, because really the pushing isn't happening. paiN is starting to force fights, and when you're getting fights on top of you, you want that level 2 Dragon form. That splash is what you need to do to clear off these Phantom Lancer illusions. He doesn't have the heart quite yet, but he will have that. And even with the Reaver, he's pretty darn tanky. It's going to be a very easy pickup. Oh no, Hani out of mana, out of hope. Mino with the Impale, and Rubik with the Fade Bolt for the kills. Saito's going to teleport here as well. They're possibly going to look for another tier 2. And Hani, he got a quick blink dagger, hit a very easy time in the jungle, but still, every single time he blinks in, he's just a little bit too short to get that lasso. He's gonna have to deal with a double walk, and he just keeps on getting picked off. So the Bat Rider really not pulling his weight this game. You can see he's even going for the Flame Break, which means that he wants a little bit more burst as opposed to the Firefly. Not really comfortable in the fact that he could actually get in and get out alive. He's gonna go up against Impale, Upheaval, as well as a Upheaval from Warlock. I say Upheaval twice, I mean Telekinesis. But Tier 2 Tower is probably going to drop, using that Wave of Terror to just scout out right before it times out. And he can steal it again. Is it any higher level? No, it's not. Tower will drop, Flame Break going to fly, but paiN Gaming is not exactly what I would call a pushing lineup, but they're just so powerful right now that Fnatic simply cannot fight. They have no tools to counter push this aside from the Flame Break, which is what Hani is partially getting that skill for. They could put the Lone Druid on the front lines, but really what is he going to do? Oh, Mino has a Dagon, and Trixie gotta run. I don't know if he has enough to kill him off. He's going to try anyway. Impale, nah, he's not even going to try. Didn't really do much to the Druid. But Fnatic, they were expecting to be on the aggressive. You could see it in their lineup. They wanted to push. That's what they tried to do. But the pushes just simply did not go well for them, and now that they themselves are being pushed, they really don't have any tools. They have the Flame Break to clear out the creep wave. They have level 1 Breathe Fire, which is essentially nothing. Chen, pretty useless as a defensive hero, unless you get like a 3 Wildkins or something. Very, very offensive pushing hero, that Chen, and defensive for your heroes, but can't really do anything for the towers. Now don't be afraid, even though he got zoned out very, very heavily from the get-go, he's starting to build up some really big items. Mech is up on him 20 minutes in, and he has a Force Staff available to him as well if he does want to purchase that up. So paiN Gaming looking very, very good this game. Oh, green text. Looking for Syndrome. Not going to find him. No big deal there. There's a pretty sizable ancient stack. And Dragon Knight does have his dragon form. Is he going to pop it and clear this off? He's going to pull it one more time, I think. No? Yes? Yes. Okay. So pull it one more time. Oh, he's going to fail. A little bit too late. He pulled it at 55. Whatever. He's just going to clear this off anyway. It's a lot of gold for him. He has completed his BKB. He's going to look towards something, probably like an AC or something. Because the build that he's going, he just wants to be an auto-attacking guy. He just wants to be a damage dealer. Doesn't even have that many points in Dragon Blood. Only 2. Was Dragon Knight getting a lot of points and stats. Really, I think it would have benefited him a lot to go for some other skills. Don't be afraid. Fight 1 versus 1 versus this bear, but really it's the top lane for Fnatic they got to worry about. Green Tech's going to move in, try to find someone. He's going to find Chen. Is he going to lift him up? No, he's going to reveal himself. No big deal. No fights happening. Because Saito is still getting his farm. He does have enough money for his heart, or he should very shortly. Oh no, Syndrome. Goodbye. Dagon died on the way down. Now Phantom Lance is going to fly out. Is there a shackle angle? There doesn't really need to be, because they have enough right click damage. No Tail's going to die as well. Chen creep being stolen. Green Tech's going to jack that Satyr. Does the health effect stack? I don't remember. I honestly don't know how much health the Satyrs have by themselves. Looks like I can't actually figure out. But looks like Green Text has suddenly turned into a Chen. That's actually pretty cool. He could take all of Chen's creeps. All of Chen's creeps are dead though, except for the Centaur. 1400 health. Let's see if we could increase that anymore. I don't remember if it does. If it's 1700, I'll definitely know. Oh, Era getting way too close. Getting lifted up into there. Dagging everything that paiN had to throw at him. No BKB time. He went up for a level 1 Breathe Fire. Honestly, what the hell were you trying? What the hell were you expecting? Breathe Fire level 1? It's not going to do it. Oh, yes, he can increase the health. So if they just keep playing tug of war with these creeps will get monstrously tanky. Sato's going to get impaled. Lasso Wind as well. They can bring down this Phantom Lancer if they nuke him one more time. The Aegis is still there. There's the rock being dropped onto No Tail as well as Trixie there. Slow to a crawl because of that upheaval. The Flame Break will cancel that off. No, it's actually an entangle from the bear. Pata's going to get really low, but he's going to survive. Era popping off the BKB, popping off the Dragon Form as well. He's going to try to do as much damage as he can, but he's really not doing that much versus the Mino. Everyone from paiN Gaming still surviving. They're going to make full retreat. Syndrome going to swap the Windrunner back. He's going to take a magic missile, but he's going to get zapped down immediately. Green Tech's very low. He's going to get dropped to the right clicks from Era as well. Don't be afraid. Somehow still in the fray. Saito as well, burning the mana of Era, and this should be the death of the Dragon Knight unless he take down Don't Be Afraid right beforehand. Just needs one more Phantom Lance. Will throw it out. Will kill off the Dragon Knight. Meantime, top side. Mino trying to teleport away from Trixie, but Trixie will beat him down. Saito still going to survive from this one. Does have that heart, so incredibly tanky, incredibly hard to kill. It looks like, oh, Green Text still has got to worry about a bear. Going to lift it up into the air, try to drop it on its owner. Not going to happen. This bear in hot pursuit, but they do have a Phantom Lancer incoming. So Trixie's got to run. Green Text could even like body block this bear if he wants to do it. No, maybe not. Bears, run. Run, bear. Oh, blocked by the frickin' illusion. That was kind of lucky and didn't really result in anything, but that was pretty cool. The Roshan, you can see the timer. A very, very slim, very tight timing that paiN just took. They killed they had their Phantom Lancer die pretty much like 30 seconds before the Aegis was going to be reclaimed. You could see Virkumand mentioning that there's only 1 minute more on the Aegis. But yet, Phantom Lancer made full use of that Aegis. Brought it right to the wire. Stayed in the fight. And ended up killing Era one more time. Era still without Dragon Blood. Why? I don't understand. Okay, let's do a tally of how many stat points he has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 7 points of stats right there. I don't know why. I wish I knew why. Dragon Blood's pretty damn good. Like, why would you pick up a Dragon Knight if you're just going to get dump stats on him? I guess he's good for, he's a pushing carry, yes, but I don't even. I just don't. I don't even, guys. Chen doesn't have his mech nowhere close, and don't be afraid. Mech Force Staff is going to spot off the Chen as well with the power shot. It's going to force Chen back. paiN Gaming could just barrel their way into the top lane. It looks like they're just going to settle for giving Phantom Lancer a little bit more farm. Why not? They're in no rush. There is no threat from this DK. There's a limited threat from the Lone Druid. He does have an armlet. Very cost-effective item on the bear, but that's about it. This Nyx Assassin could pick off pretty much whoever he wants, except for Era as well as Lone Druid, I guess. But they're going to go for the very, very easy target. It's going to be the tier 2 tower. There's nothing that Fnatic could do to defend this. Even if they wanted to, they should not. Oh, they're going to do it. They're going to defend this. They want blood. But they shouldn't. Get back in there, No Tail. This is not your fight. Saito could just mess them up by himself. Era going to throw a Breathe Fire, try to draw the aggro, but we all remember what happened last time that happened. Force Staff, telekinesis from Rubik, and the tower drops. So what I expect to see from paiN right now is they're going to be pushing out the bottom lane, they're going to be pushing out the mid lane, and if anyone can, they're going to push out the top lane, but that's really not a huge priority for them. Really, they're just going to farm up the jungle, wait for another couple minutes, and wait for that Roshan, get the Aegis, then make a push into the base. Now that's going to be a minute and a half where Fnatic could get a little bit more farm, or they could actually go for a pick. Looks like they're starting to group up, although if they went on the aggressive, they could get a couple supports, and that will slow down the Roshan, and that's really, I think, Fnatic's best bet. It's why we see the smoke on the bear, smoke on everyone else as well. They're looking for blood right before Roshan spawns. Don't be afraid in that mid lane, but does have a Force Staff as well as a Wind Run, so he's going to be fine, especially with support right behind him. Force Staff, and they really need to open this up with a swap into a Magic Missile. They don't, or a Blink Lasso. That's going to work as well. Don't be afraid. Force Staffed into the entirety of Fnatic. He's Wind Run though. He's going to Force Staff himself out. Mech Charge as well is still available for him. Swapping him back, not going to be enough. There's the Mech Charge. Where's the Mech Charge? Wind Runner can hold on to the Mech Charge till she dies. She could have been fine. Saito going to get walled off by the bear, and it's going to be a pause. Don't be afraid. Buying back, so the Mech Charge will be available for the team now. Someone can disconnect it. There's initiation from the Batrider. This is exactly what Fnatic need to do. And everyone from paiN, they're on the run. Warlock is stuck in a corner, so he's going to be forced to drop off the Chaotic Offering. He will hit 3, however. If he could chain them up together with that Fatal Bonds, then it's going to be devastating. But here we go. Got to watch for the Vrock. Who's going to drop on? Is he going to drop it right now? He will. It's going to hit on 3. Where's the Bond? Where's the Bonds? And a God's going to fly. Saito doing as much damage as he can, but the send back on Trixie. Green Tech's going to skip forward. Going to steal the Hand of God. Pretty big spell to steal. Mina with that Vendetta up. Shackle onto No Tail as well. Chen's going to die for sure. Stun onto Syndra. They want more. Dagon is not available, but they don't really need it. Just one more right click. Will kill off this Vengeful Spirit. Stun onto Mino, but the Urn Charge. Goodbye, Vengeful Spirit. Nice knowing you. Wind Run with this quick power shot will kill him off. And Saito still very much so alive. 806 on him. Windrunner buying back. Still hasn't used the Mech Charge. Screw the Mech Charge. You don't need that. It's a regeneration item. It's a giant ring of regen. Yura getting body blocked by Mino. Don't be afraid. Gonna try for the lasso. Gonna try for the shackle. Not gonna latch it, but Yura taking an awful lot of damage. Doesn't have many points in Dragon Blood. 3 now. Should be 4. Pata's gonna get worked on by the bear. He is gonna be the only one to drop. Trixie is now in a very rough position though. Green Tech's gonna get entangled as well. Getting wailed on by this bear. Needs to pop out the Ghost Scepter right now. Green Tech's will in fact do it. Trixie shackled to a creep, and Saito just working on that bear. This bear should drop. Lifted up into the air. Slammed him down into his other summon bear. And there's the Mech Charge. Finally by Don't Be Afraid. Trixie's on the sidelines for another minute. Green Tex has got to fall back, as does Don't Be Afraid. Saito's still very healthy because of that heart. But really, paiN, they're just taking heroes from Fnatic one by one. Yes, they did lose the Nyx. Yes, they did lose the Warlock. But 21-9, and now Roshan is up. It's gonna be, they don't have the most damage to kill off Roshan. Phantom Lancer is sitting on a lot of gold. And Fnatic doing exactly what they needed to do, but really they didn't do it well enough. They need to take a much better fight now. Now that Dragon Knight has an armlet, he can start to put out some decent damage. But yeah, he's still not as tanky as he needs to be. He has 3 extra armor that he could have for free right now. When he's getting worked on by the PL, when he's getting worked on by the Windrunners, has some pretty decent right clicks. He really needs that. He really needs that. Roshan is going to be attempted. No Tail and Syndra heading straight towards there, but they don't have Trixie. They'll have him another 8 seconds, but in that 8 seconds, Roshan is already going to die. And Mino, he wants blood. Oh, he's going to run into No Tail or Syndra, or possibly both. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, wait for the steal, and then pop him. Sinjin getting picked off. Nothing Eventual Spirit could do about that. Double life on the Phantom Lancer, and they could go for a set of Raxes right now. 30 minutes in, and paiN with a huge advantage over Fnatic. Sado's just going to clear out the bot lane. Don't want to lose any tier 2 towers when you don't have to. And you can just leave the illusions there. Walk back to the mid lane. Doesn't have a Keeper of the Light to really give him a taxi there, but he'll be fine to walk. Phantom Lancer needs the exercise anyway. Actually sending the illusions to the ancient camps. The rest of the team heading up towards the top lane. Looks like it's going to be split pushing from paiN. You have a TP scroll. More farm. Maybe this tower will be put into deny range. Yes. No, it won't. 144. paiN not going to give Fnatic a single inch in this game. The rest of the heroes just standing around. If they do take a fight right now, then they will lose. Fnatic 5v4 will be able to win, despite the fact that they are at a disadvantage. Shackle onto the bear. But Trixie's still incredibly strong. Lasso is going to catch Green Tex, bring him straight back. Magic Pistol as well. Green Tex going to Force Staff at once. Breathe Fire would have killed him off if it was maxed out, but the Flame Break will do it. Bear's still running forward. Everyone has a Force Staff on paiN. Holy crap, they're like on rollerblades. But Bear is angry. Bear wants a tower. Bear's going to eat down the tower. Where's the creep wave? Creep wave nowhere to be found, but the tower dies anyway. This Bear does have some pretty good damage. Plus 190. Oh my god, with that aura. And Fnatic, they're making it kind of a counter push. paiN, if you lose this right now, I will... Oh my god. Well, Dragon Knight almost has his level 3 Dragon Form, and he's still getting stats. Why are you getting so much stats? I don't even know why. He's tanky as hell. This is a lot of armor, given partially by that Ogre Frost Mage. But I feel like another point in Dragon's Blood would be really nice. I mean, stats does give you right-click damage, like 2, and like a little bit of attack speed. How much? Attack speed by 1. I don't know how much that actually equates to in damage, damage per second. But so I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this at all. But if it ends up working out, then I guess no harm, no foul. I guess. But Phantom Lancer does have a butterfly, and although the splash damage from Dragon Knight will always deal damage to the Phantom Lancer if he's not targeting the Phantom Lancer, it's still going to be incredibly difficult for him because he needs every single hit to count. He needs this level 16, but he's not going to find it. Saito is already level 18. He's just going to swamp the Dragon Knight in illusions. Actually, I think probably the level 2 Dragon Form will be a lot more useful for him. Get that 100% cleave, 100% splash rather than the 50% splash. And at this rate, they definitely need it because Phantom Lancer is incredibly stacked right now. Level 2 on that Diffusal Blade. Heart, Butterfly, what more could you want? Saito's just going to breach the high ground. Hani, with the Firefly already active, looking for blood. Ira's going to get initiated upon him. Oh no, Hani going to blink straight forward, but the Impale had perfect timing from the Nino. Hani is going to get tried to save by the hand of God, but he will not make it out of there alive. That was just unfortunate. All those other times it was a slight misplay by Hani, but blinking forward as soon as Mino was casting that Impale. That was so very lucky from paiN, and they managed to take out the Bat Rider for that. Now all the Phantom Lancer illusions going to just work on Trixie. Centaur Stomp going to hold them out, but look at the damage onto this lone Druid. Meanwhile, Saito's doing something completely different. Going to get entangled. This bear does still do a lot of damage. Saito going to throw out one more lance onto Trixie. Ira going to pop the BKB, as well as the Dragon Form. Rock going to get dropped, though. Does go through BKB. Saito still alive. Still has the Aegis on him. Mech Charge going to keep him up very, very high. And so far, it's 2 down from Fnatic. Saito still going after Trixie. Will bring him down. Ira as well as Syndra getting slowed to a crawl because of that upheaval. Where's the Shackle? Not going to happen, but Syndra going to get burned down in an instant. Ira now on the run. He's not going to make it out alive. Trixie does buy back, but what could a lone Druid do? What could a lone Druid do? This is going to be GG with 4 heroes on the sidelines. Raxes are going to fall. No Tail does call it. Ladies and gentlemen, paiN Gaming tie it up with an incredibly stacked Phantom Lancer. And Mino being very effective on that next assassin, but really I think it's Fnatic with the Bat Rider who could not get his initiations correct. That last one, that was just crappy luck, man. It just shit happens. Like, what more could you say? Blink forward as soon as next assassin casted. He wasn't even casting on him. Bat Rider just dove in at a very inopportune moment. But yeah, that looks like it's going to be the game. 35 minutes in, and paiN Gaming drew it. So we're going to be moving on to game number 3, the deciding match between paiN Gaming and Fnatic to see who is going to take this series from whom. paiN Gaming putting up a pretty strong showing in the second game, and Fnatic, well, I mean, it was kind of working well for them, their pushing lineup, but questionable skill choices from Ira, as well as the lack of initiation from Hani, means that paiN Gaming will take it. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this cast, like, subscribe, comment. If you did not, let me know what I could do wrong. Otherwise, GG.